How you doing, this Preacher Man R&D, and this is another episode of Retro TV 91. And this week I'm reviewing Tusedays Agents of Shield, Season 4, Episode 1. And what happens on this week's episode is we find out that the original team of Shield, Phil Coulson's team, has been split up, and there's a new director. And he's split them up into different ranks. They're all high ranked, but he split them up on purpose. That way they can't be with each other all the time, and he can have more control over them that way. And we find out that Gemma is one of the highest ranking ones, and she's the closest to the director, so she can get close to the director and is trying to earn his trust. And the other teammates ain't liking that, especially May, because Gemma has to do a procedure, a lie detector procedure to May. That way she finds out that Phil Coulson and Matt is on a secret mission to try to find Daisy. And the reason they're on a secret mission to try to find Daisy is because there's been a lot of deaths here recently, and the local authorities are thinking it's Daisy as well. But who it really is the Ghost Rider, it's Robbie Reyes. And he's the Ghost Rider spirit. If you ain't read the comics or watched the movies, he goes after bad people, and the Ghost Rider judges them and burns their soul. And this is what the Ghost Rider is doing. And Quake meets up with the Ghost Rider when she's running after these guys from Aryan Brotherhood, trying to get them because they're selling stuff to the Watchdogs. And Ghost Rider shows up and kills all of them except for two of them, and takes one of them, and the other one goes to the hospital. Well, Daisy goes to the one with the hospital to try to find out what's going on. And this guy tells her about the Ghost Rider and how he burns your soul, and once he burns your soul, you're dead. That's it. And this guy winds up dying, and Daisy has to get out of there so the cops are after it. Well, the other guy, Ghost Rider has, and Robbie Reyes is asking him all these questions, and he tells Robbie what he wants to know. And Robbie turns into the Ghost Rider and winds up killing this guy. And then we find out what these guys were doing, because Phil Coulson and Matt come and they find the truck that they have, and two guys are in the back of the truck dead, because the thing that they're after is this box. And I'm guessing there's a spirit or a demon inside this box, because whenever you open this box, this ghost lady comes out and says something, and then every person you see looks like their face is decaying off and becoming a demon. And that's what makes these guys go crazy and attack each other. And this is what happens, and May's team comes and tells Phil that he's off this, and her team go and clear out and capture all these guys. And then the ghost lady appears in front of May, and then at the end of this episode we find out that either May's possessed by this thing or whatever this thing is, because she starts to see Phil Coulson's face decay, but it ain't that bad, so she doesn't do nothing about it. But anyway, Sky goes to Robbie Reyes and finds out that Robbie Reyes is the Ghost Rider, and they get in this big fight, and Robbie Reyes says he doesn't choose who dies, the Rider does. And he turns into Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider's looking at Quake Daisy to see if she needs to die. She says, "Go ahead, I deserve it," and Ghost Rider walks away and doesn't choose her. So obviously Daisy's a pretty good person, because the Rider didn't kill her. And we find out that Yo-Yo's work is Daisy's informant, because Yo-Yo has signed the Sokovia Accords. We get some backstory off the Civil War, so most of the Inhumans on the TV show have signed the Accords, but most of them haven't. And then we find out with Fitz, he goes to Dr. Radcliffe, and we find out that Dr. Radcliffe made a robot body decoy from the comics, because Nick Fury has all these decoys, light model decoys, and this is what this is that Radcliffe made. And Fitz says they can't tell Jim because she'll have to tell the director, and they're not going to tell her until it's perfect. And that's all that really happened on this week's episode. My question for y'all is, now that we know about the Ghost Rider, what's going to happen in next week's episode? As always, it's Preacher Man R&D signing out. This has been another episode of Retro TV 91. As good, Jesus. See y'all next time.